Miami! To mission control, we have liftoff. Phinhub! Phinhub! We talking Dolphins City! Phinhub, Phinhub! Yeah! It's that Dolphins show! Phinhub!
Welcome to the Phinhub Show, the one NFL podcast you can't leave off your roster. Now here's your host, Joey and Kevin Tejido.
All right, welcome to another episode of the Phinhub Show, powered by BetUS. If you haven't already, make sure to check out BetUS and use code YouTube150 for 150% bonus on your first deposit. The next two deposits will be for 125% bonuses. So make sure to check out BetUS and use code YouTube150 to get started on BetUS today. All right, so it's Super Bowl day today. We got the Chiefs and we got the Eagles. Let's go over our predictions here. Let's not spoil it, maybe. What are you expecting from this game?
Man, you know, I'm expecting revenge for the Eagles, but they have a different identity now, and it's not so different, but it is slightly different, and that's just Saquon Barkley. In my opinion, he was the MVP of this season. I know Josh Allen just won it. Congrats to him. Hell of a player. I think Josh Allen, you know, he's top two. I finally can say that I can stop being a hater. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm one of the guys that would say that Tua's better. I know that's ridiculous, but, you know, that's just me being a blind fan. But, yeah, congrats to him. But Saquon Barkley, it's a different dynamic now. You know, they have that beast of a line. They have a mobile quarterback in Jalen Hurts. They'll tush-push God, you know what I'm saying? So I think, you know, and I'm probably going to be wrong, but I think it's going to be a surprise. You know, I feel like, you know, and we'll get to the predictions, but I think it's going to be a surprise. That's all I'm going to say.
So where I'm at with this, you got the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. You got Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. A dynasty in the making here. Travis Kelce dating Taylor Swift.
I'm so sick of them.
Me too, but you know, this is what movies are made of. Yeah. You know what I mean? This is Hollywood. This is unfortunately what I think the NFL wants.
You know, I know the crazy part, and I don't know if I'm right in this, but I remember this for some reason. I think Taylor Swift is an Eagles fan. Like, really? I think she was an Eagles fan. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know why I'm saying that, but
maybe she was dating somebody on the Eagles.
I don't know. She's dated everyone in the world, so.
Jeez. Well, look, I don't know. Either way, I have to go with the Chiefs on this one.
Okay. So you're going into your prediction. All right, go for it.
Yeah, I'm going to if I have to predict it, I'm going to say Chiefs are going to win this somehow, some way. Patrick Mahomes, we've seen it before. Like, he makes magic happen.
You know, all three of his Super Bowl wins have been come from behind wins.
That's crazy.
But someone did point something out that I found interesting, and this is no knock on Patrick Mahomes. He's the best quarterback of this era, without a doubt. You know, he's not better than Tom Brady, but he might get there.
Yeah.
Look who he's beating in the Super Bowl: Jimmy Garoppolo.
Nice.
Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
And Brock Purdy. Now he goes against Jalen Hurts again.
Damn.
Right? So it's not a knock on him, but it's not like he's played the best quarterback on the other side. You know what I'm saying? Like, and no one's better than him. I'm not saying that, but he's not playing like, and I know this isn't possible, like a Josh Allen type quarterback on the other side. So,
well, if you really look at it, the AFC is really where the quarterbacks live.
Yeah.
You know, you got the best, I think, 4 quarterbacks in the NFL, just off the top of my head. You got Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, in no order, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
So, you know, after that.
And then people, you know, that glazed freaking Justin Herbert and all that other stuff.
Okay, so. He's also in the AFC.
Yeah.
You know, we know our boy Tua's in the AFC too. So
yeah,
it really is the quarterbacks really live in the AFC. So I don't know. You can't really blame him for that. Like, it is what it is. Yeah. You can only play who's in front of you. And he wins. So
I'm just being a hater. Don't worry about it.
No. I mean, it is an interesting fact, but it's just
and the reason why we could talk about that is because the one time he went against the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? He went against the only Super Bowl he lost was against Tom Brady. I mean, that says something.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, either way, but then again, you see, isn't that bit interesting? The only Super Bowl he lost was against the GOAT, Tom Brady. The NFL...
Yeah, he's not playing Tom Brady. He's playing the Buccaneers, right, at the time.
No, but the NFL loves
Yeah?
these stories.
Yeah.
The NFL loves Tom Brady's last hurrah. Tom Brady, the GOAT, the NFL GOAT. Win him another Super Bowl. You know what I mean? He moves, and now he's winning on the Buccaneers. Now the NFL has fallen in love with Patrick Mahomes, and it's become a weird situation. I hate blaming the refs on stuff, but it's just become so, at this point, almost obvious.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a joke, but
Yeah, and there can be an argument later on, right? Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady. Tom Brady's always going to have that over Patrick Mahomes.
that's true.
He beat him in the Super Bowl. So,
That's
I mean,
true.
that can probably end the GOAT debate right there. Let's say they end their careers with the same amount of Super Bowl wins. Yeah, but Tom Brady beat Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
so.
if you're looking at it, it's like the NFL wants these stories. The NFL wants these supermen that
Yeah.
Tom Brady retires, and it's like, who's the next guy? Who can step up to be the face of the league? And it's Patrick Mahomes.
If Patrick Mahomes wasn't around, I guarantee you it would have been Josh Allen.
yeah.
Promise you. The Bills would have been the darlings of the NFL, getting the same amount of calls. At the end of the day, they do get a lot of calls. We got Josh Allen flopping like a freaking flapjack. And, I mean, the same applies to Patrick Mahomes. They're both floppers, and they both get those calls. But, I mean, when it comes down to it and they both play each other, Patrick Mahomes kind of gets the edge there. So,
Yeah. Well, look, I'm going to be rooting for the Eagles, if I'm being completely honest. That's the team I'm rooting for. My prediction is, though, I think Saquon's going to have a nice game. But to be completely honest and fair to the Chiefs, you know, putting the cheating aside, maybe not, I don't know. The Chiefs, we know Patrick Mahomes is no slouch. He's the best quarterback in the NFL, especially come playoff time.
yeah.
Then you look at that defensive line, even their offensive line. I really like what I see from them. They got some hard runners.
Yeah.
Their receivers, although people say Patrick Mahomes makes them what they are.
Nah,
these guys are pretty
stacked.
money.
Yeah. Hopkins,
Yeah.
Worthy.
Worthy's been a surprise, and I don't know why he's so much of a surprise to people.
No, I mean,
everybody should have seen this coming.
You know, speed kills at the end of the day. If you can't touch me, you can't catch me, I'm gonna run right past you. I mean, that's kind of Tyreek Hill's bread and butter. So it's the same dynamic.
Yeah.
And I'm not comparing him to Tyreek Hill. He will never be Tyreek Hill, honestly. I know he's pretty talented, but you know, it's fine.
But yeah, then going on to the Eagles have really nice defense,
Nice receivers,
great offensive line,
a decent quarterback. You know,
decent quarterback, the best running back in the NFL at this point. And what he's doing for the Eagles is so impressive.
I mean,
so
this guy would have broken records if he didn't they took him out of a game. They asked him if he wanted to stay in a game. He's like, nah, I'd rather stay healthy for the rest of the season. He's instead of running off to get a touchdown, he's sliding to get the win instead. You know what I'm saying? And he's leaving another 30 yards on the field.
He's great, man.
He's that talented.
Yeah,
So
he's great. And
so your prediction is the Chiefs.
I'm rooting for the Eagles, but I'm predicting a Chiefs win.
Okay. I'm rooting for the Eagles, but I think the Eagles are going to win.
Okay, cool.
I really do. And this isn't a strong belief, but I do think they have what it takes to win. They have a strong defense, a strong offensive line, the best running back in the league, like we said. And, all it takes is a couple big runs from Saquon Barkley to really kill this.
Right.
And to kill this dynasty that they're trying to create, the three-peat. Our guy Pat Riley allowed the NFL and the Chiefs to use that phrase as if it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? People are confident that the Chiefs are going to win. But I think... Sorry, I thought my phone was ringing. But I think the Eagles can take this. And what do the Eagles have? In the playoffs, we say teams that can run the ball are the teams that usually get the win, right? They can definitely run the ball. And if they have this late game situation that they need to run the ball to run the clock out, they have the best running back in the league and one of the best offensive lines in the league. So
that's going to be key for them.
Yeah.
They need to get the lead early and then
hold on to it.
Hold on to the lead.
Yeah.
Make sure to kill the clock, have long drives that end in maybe who knows, maybe goal in inches, and they just have that tush push.
Yeah, just and it deflates the other team. It's like
Right.
you get to that 1 yard line, or I'm saying right before they get the touchdown, everyone's like, damn, they're gonna score no matter what. We can't stop them. So
You can't stop it.
at the end of the day, I think you need to make Patrick Mahomes play hero ball. Run out of the pockets, throwing the ball 50 yards down the field, and hopefully he makes a mistake. And I think the Eagles have the tools to make him do that. So it's gonna be a fun Super Bowl. I'm not gonna do a score prediction and all that. I'm just gonna say I think the Eagles are gonna win. You say the Chiefs. The most interesting part, and this is how it ties into the Dolphins, is that the Eagles have their offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore, that is basically up for the Saints job. There's a reason why Anthony Weaver hasn't landed it yet. And I don't think it's so much speculation. It's kind of confirmed that he is the favorite to land that Saints job. And he's just waiting, obviously, for the Super Bowl to end to go ahead and take that. So looks like another year with not Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio's replacement in Anthony Weaver. And I think it's great. Vic Fangio's for the other side. He's with the Eagles, and they look fantastic under him. But
Yeah, so there's a few things that you mentioned there. Anthony Weaver seems like he's going to be coming back another year now. So I like that. I mean, this is consistency now for the first time in a long time for the Miami Dolphins at the defensive coordinator position. So I think it's going to be very good for the defense as a whole. Excellent for the young players that we drafted last season. And these guys need consistency on that side of the ball. They need consistent coaching. To have a guy that's going to have back-to-back years, Anthony Weaver also did a hell of a job as defensive coordinator for the Dolphins. So I love the idea of us keeping him around another season. And now going on to the Vic Fangio idea, with Vic Fangio being the defensive coordinator now for the Eagles, and we see that there was really this idea, and this we can go back even further, going back to Brian Flores, but that's maybe for another day. Vic Fangio was more of this hard-nosed, do what I say kind of coach. It didn't bode well with the locker room. Maybe the dynamic was just way too different between Mike McDaniel and Vic Fangio, where the players got used to a guy like Mike McDaniel, really a player's coach, open door policy. They can talk to him about anything, anytime. Vic Fangio is the antithesis of that. That guy he's not that kind of guy.
yeah,
Basically, in other words, I feel calling our team soft, our players soft.
Yeah.
And it just didn't. And it's weird because in his time with the Miami Dolphins, we did have, I think, a stretch where our defense did look pretty good.
yeah,
What's funny is that Jevon Holland had one of his best stretches of his career under Vic Fangio. Then after Vic Fangio was let go, he was happy about it, had a video of, kick rocks. And then now Anthony Weaver comes in, Jevon Holland super happy, loves his vibe, but then has one of his worst seasons in his NFL career. So maybe the players, although they're happy about one coach becoming in because he's their friend, that just doesn't mean that's not a recipe for winning football, and it's not a recipe for good coaching either.
No, it's not. But you want players to be happy. That's how you retain players, right?
Yeah.
And that's how you get players to maybe stay cheaper. At the end of the day, the whole soft label, a lot of Dolphins have talked about it, and they've said, we think it's ridiculous. I don't even know what that term means in a sense. At the end of the day, these guys are all football players. They're not soft. It's not that the Dolphins are just, oh, this guy's soft. Let's get him on our team. Let's draft this soft guy. Let's sign this soft guy. No, it doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny. It's interesting. Dan Marino was also talking during Super Bowl week, and he even said it. We're labeled soft because of, when we get to cold weather, we bend and we don't hit as hard and all that stuff. Okay, cool. But he said it himself. Even throughout his time on the Dolphins, he said, we're not used to that weather. I mean, it's not a secret. We're here in Miami. At the end of the day, the way to kill the narrative is win enough games to win the division, and you get home field advantage. We don't have to deal with that, right? So let's just win all these games. Let's get that home field advantage. And at the end of the day, that whole soft narrative, they can't play in the cold, whatever. If we win enough, we don't have to deal with that. So it's on the Dolphins. I think they can turn that around. And, you know, I'm just trying to stay optimistic here because at the end of the day, that's what we got to do.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. It's really going to, I guess we're going to start seeing the direction of the franchise throughout this summer. You know, the free agency, the draft, which direction are they going in? Is Mike McDaniel going to be able to survive another season where he doesn't make the playoffs, or maybe a one and done situation? Is what's this dude? Chris Greer. Chris Greer, is he going to be able to survive after 20-something years of being on the franchise? I don't know. So the draft, free agency, they're going to determine a lot of things going forward. But we have to let the season play out, see what it is, and hopefully by the time the next Super Bowl comes around, we are talking about the Miami Dolphins. That's a bit of a stretch there, but who knows? Crazier things have happened.
You know, there hasn't been much success under Mike McDaniel in the sense of winning playoff games, but we have made the playoffs 3 out of the 4 years that he's been here. So I'll take that as a win. You know, I do know that we need to win a playoff game, but I think it starts in the regular season. I think we need to get that home field advantage. I think it's a different dynamic that we have yet to see. We haven't seen the Dolphins at home in their first playoff game, you know what I'm saying, of whatever season that they're in, right? So I would love to see that. I would love to see us in warm weather where the elements aren't we're not at a disadvantage. Because what are we talking about here? The Chiefs, you know, we went on to play our playoff game, not last year, the year before that, against the Chiefs. And one of the coldest games in NFL history. I think it might have been the coldest or the second coldest.
I think it was the 4th or something.
Well, whatever. Even then, people are literally losing limbs, extremities, like
in the stands, yeah.
due to the cold. You know what I'm saying? Like,
crazy.
It's crazy weather. It's excusable. I know, like, both teams have to play in it. But at the end of the day, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are way more used to it than the Dolphins. And these sound like a lot of excuses, but it just goes back to what I'm saying. Win enough games, you don't have to deal with those elements. Another game against the Bills in the playoffs, snow game, all that stuff. I'm sick of getting to the playoffs and having to play these snow games that, you know, the elements are such a factor. Tua can't throw the ball as well, and I get it. You know, why do you have Tua if you can't do that during those games? It just kind of happens. When you have a Josh Allen that can run the ball and not have to, like, really throw it that often,
yeah,
you know, it's a different dynamic. We don't have that dynamic. Not everyone has a Josh Allen, but we got to move on, and we got to win enough games to get that, you know, home field advantage. So let's hope the Dolphins can do that, and I'm confident that they can figure something out this year. So
if you guys haven't already, make sure to check out BetUS and use code YouTube150 for 150% bonus. The next few deposits will be for 125% bonuses. So make sure to use code YouTube150 and get started on BetUS today. That's going to do it for today, guys. If you haven't already, make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks up.